Hi, everyone. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
A special Camper Report Show coming to you direct from Camp Margaritaville, just outside of Orlando. We're in Auburndale, Florida. We're going to tell you all about that, but I am going to talk to you about the new RV Self Park, and you've got a special guest as well.
Yeah, we're going to have an update from Camper in Chief, Janine Pettit, who's had a real busy couple of years, and she's got some new exciting things for Girl Camper. And also in her personal life, she just became a grandparent 3 times in 20 months. And
Wow.
she's going to do a little different type of camping this year.
Okay, we get all of our news. Where do we get our news, Bob?
RE Business with Rick Kessler and Woodall's Campground Magazine with Ben Quiggle.
And we'll be back with more. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. This is the news segment. My name is John DePietro. Bob Zagami is with me, and Bob, it seems as though every few years a new type of RV takes center stage in growth, and it appears that this year truck campers are making a big comeback, and the Cirrus 920 has already sold out its production allocation for the entire year. Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we'll see that come about from several other manufacturers because they really don't know how to gauge the market right now. Similar to when we had first introduced the Class B products, they didn't have a lot of them. They didn't grow a lot. They've grown 2 or 3% a year. And then they started growing 25% a year as it was adapted by many different demographics. We're going to see the same thing with the truck campers. This particular one is very well fit for half-ton pickups, and it can do it. It can handle it. It's lightweight. It's a good brand. It comes out of Intech. They make great products, all aluminum products, and they should do very well. As I say, they just sold out the whole production run. They already know what they're going to have for the whole year.
Yep.
That's a nice business model to have.
For sure. And I have seen a wide variety of new styles, new pickup campers on this trip to Florida. And it's interesting to see how they're expanding in size. And several of them have slides on them, so they're not as confining as they used to be when they first came out several years ago.
Well, there's one brand out in the West Coast that has 3 slides.
Three
The back
slides.
slides out and the 2 sides slide out. So
Wow.
everything is just traveling behind what the rest of the industry did the last 5 years. But you're going to see that. You're going to see bigger bathrooms, larger bathrooms, wet baths. You're going to see more upscale furniture, more European style furniture, because truck campers are popular over there also.
Yep. And another interesting note that we've noticed this week, noted this from our friends at RV Business, is that our friends at Blue Compass have been named to a prestigious list by Inc. magazine. It's their top 5,000 companies in the Southeast. And John Ferrando, their CEO, says that it's the second year in a row that they've gotten that award.
Yeah, they have been garnering a lot of awards since they incorporated the company. They're doing a lot of things well, and getting the Inc. listing is a very prestigious one for any company, even if it's a small company. It's national recognition for what they do, and
Yep.
it's coming on the heels of the year that John and the team spent rebranding the entire company.
Yep.
And signage, all new uniforms, painting all the facilities. So they got one image across the country. Now they get the Inc. plaque to put on the wall, and they continue to grow and do well in the RV industry.
Yep. And
Yep.
moving across the pond to England, they just had their big show from February 13th through 18th. They had 95,000 people attend that show.
Yeah,
Several
it was a
thousand
little bit
people.
less than what they had last year, but it's the second Caravan Salon had over 250,000 people, and down just a little bit. But 100,000 people, or close to 100,000 people in the UK, is a very good show, and just a capsulation of some of the things were shown in Caravan Salon. Some of the manufacturers were not, but it's a good idea of what's going on in the marketplace in the UK.
Right. There we go. So there's the news of the week, thanks to our friends at RV Business and Woodall's Campground Magazine. We are here at Margaritaville, and we'll be back with two great features right after this. Where, Bob?
Camper Report Show. I almost said the Camper Report Show at Camp Margaritaville.
That's what it is. See y'all.
All right, welcome back to the Camper Report Show, everyone. And I am delighted to bring back our old friend. I shouldn't say old friend, our young friend, Janine Pettit,
None.
founder of Girl Camper. You can't call a woman old. How experienced,
I
mature.
take pride in it. At this
Yeah,
point, I'm
I do too.
embracing it.
I brag about it, Janine. It's great to
Yeah.
see you. Have you back on the show here. Tell us what you've been doing. Give us kind of a little update on Girl Camper because I know there's some exciting things in the wings.
Well, Bob, thank you for having me. You're my dearest friend in this industry, and I always love catching up with you. And yeah, a lot happening. Some changes coming up at Girl Camper. We're bringing the podcast back. And then I've got a story to tell too about my own personal change in life. And that is I'm making a pivot in the way I camp and RV. And for the first time in the last, gosh, I started up RVing again in 2006. So what is that, like 17, 18 years ago?
Yeah.
And I'm putting down some roots. I got myself a fifth wheel and I'm plucking it on a seasonal site and I'm going to be grandma-ing it. Like I'm going in deep with these grandkids and multi-generational camping and sticking close to home for a while.
Well, it's fantastic that all of your grandkids kind of came. I think you said you had three of them in the last
We had
20
a
months.
burst.
You
There
had
was a
one,
burst.
and then you got three in 20 months, and there's nothing like grandkids. If you're not in the club,
I know.
until you have one, it's amazing. And what
I didn't get it. I have to say, I was one of those people that didn't get it. And now I'm obnoxious about it.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So, talk a little bit about pivoting, and I think it's an interesting aspect of your career, and where you're going, and kind of a different dimension. It's certainly still girl camping, and I think
Yeah.
will bring even more people into the girl camper community when they see how easy it is to do destination camping. Talk a little bit about that and your selection of the unit that you're going to be in.
Yeah, well, I've been a brand ambassador for Keystone for several years, and I'll take a trailer of theirs and like have it for a while, and then, but I do look at all the big ones, but not as a potential owner of them myself because I never wanted to upgrade my tow vehicle and drive something that big. But I started camping with my son, daughter-in-law, and their first baby. And we were in our Keystone hideout, which had a little slide out booth and it had a Murphy queen bed, but we could all pack in there. It's pretty crowded though. And my son is just like, Mom, like this is like the baby's crying, like this is so, annoying. And he loves to camp. So I started thinking, like, what could I do? And I don't want to tow this thing. And then it dawned on me, like, I was camping down in South Jersey at a beautiful campground, a Spacious Skies campground down in South Jersey. And I started walking around looking at the seasonal sites, and like a light bulb went off in me. And I said, that's it. I'm getting a seasonal site. This is only an hour and 10 minutes from both of my sons, who both had babies in December 3rd. And then Christmas Day, my other son had a baby boy, both boys in December. And our granddaughter's 22 months old. And I'm like, I just want to be by these kids. And this is close and convenient for them. They don't have to do anything except throw a diaper bag in the car and come down. So I just started looking into getting a seasonal site. And while I was down there camping, I went to the campground manager and he said, we got one really big site back here. And I took it on the spot. Didn't even have a camper.
To back up now a little bit, because you have a daughter that was born on Christmas Day also, right?
Yes, that's our second Christmas baby. We're hitting the lotto. No, we couldn't believe it because I think their due date was like December 17th. So when I found out the due date, I thought, well, chances aren't very good we'll get a Christmas baby. but that as Christmas grew closer, and even on Christmas Eve, when she went into labor Christmas Eve, I thought, oh, it's going to be a Christmas Eve baby. That's cute. We'll have a Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day, but didn't work out that way. She lingered over past midnight and 2 emergency C-sections. I'm telling you, when the babies arrive, they're lovely, but all the anxiety waiting for them to arrive is not fun. I don't like it at all. No. So when they both landed safely, I'm like, this is heaven. I'm in grandma heaven. And I added it up, Bob, and from the time my youngest graduated from high school in 2017 until this year here, 7 or 8 years ago, I've traveled 75,000 miles towing my little mini Max or my Hideout. And I was like, I did it. I went all those places. That doesn't look fun to me right now.
Well, but didn't you also tell me that another big change coming and kind of a return of something that was very popular, the podcast?
Yes. So, I was reluctant to commit to the podcast again. I took what I thought was going to be a 6-month sabbatical from the podcast. And I thought, geez, that's how long it's going to take me to get this magazine off the ground. The magazine took way longer. And then honestly, I was a little burned out from starting up the magazine and was in no hurry to return to the podcast. But if you can believe this, we still get like 30 letters a month. Are you ever bringing the podcast back? I had not even gone in and looked at our podcast stats. So from the time we quit doing it in 2018 till I went in about 3 or 4 months ago, the downloads had doubled. There was 1.5 million downloads of the Girl Camper podcast.
That's amazing.
It was crazy to me.
And you weren't even actively promoting it, so it's
not even doing it. So I'm like,
it's word of mouth and people just becoming aware of your community.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm going to do it. In fact, I'm really enjoying it. I've been recording some podcast episodes and talking about the things going on at Girl Camper again, and just interviewing really great people with interesting stories about travel and overcoming fear and getting out there when you don't think you have it in you to do that. Those are the kind of stories we like to tell. And so it's coming back April 1st.
That's fantastic. And during the winter, I guess you'd say winter down here in Florida, because I'm down in Florida now. And I was going to go up to Camp Margaritaville a few weeks ago when they were taping the next series, the next season of RV Unplugged. And unfortunately, I came down with COVID after the Boston RV show, and I couldn't make it up there. Now, I understand that you were up there, and there was a reason why you were up there. Do you want to talk about that?
Okay, well, I wasn't up there, but
you weren't. Okay.
This is sort of a funny story. So, RV Unplugged reached out to us to see if Girl Camper would like to put together a team to do RV Unplugged. And Lisa McDermott, I think you've met her online.
Yes, yeah.
Have you met her in person?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's a Renaissance woman, right? Yeah. She's a fixed wing pilot. She's a ski instructor, scuba instructor. She's a lawyer. She is. She's so talented. It's unbelievable.
She's Superwoman.
She really is. Now she's so humble. She tells everybody that she just has a short attention span. But Lisa's in it to win it. I mean, she takes no prisoners. This girl is awesome.
I'm looking forward to seeing her compete.
Well, so Lisa agreed to do the show, and RV Unplugged people actually said to me, well, we were on your website. We were hoping maybe you could introduce us to Lisa. So they did a deep dive, and they thought, who does things at Girl Camper? Well, it was Lisa. And then Mary Byrne, who is our Nebraska guide. Well, those two went down there together, and they're back, and they're sworn to secrecy. So I have no idea how it went, except that they had a blast and that they loved the Florida weather.
Well, it's a great program, and they've really stepped up their game in this second season, and they've done the whole thing down there at up there at Camp Margaritaville. So I'm really looking forward to the season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to really exponentially grow their audience this year, and they've got even better production teams. So they've done their homework, and
Yeah.
Camp
But
Margaritaville.
we're going to be pushing it out. We're going to be doing a watch party. We're going to be rooting for our girls and just really, helping them do whatever we can to get that show out in the, running there and let people know it's happening.
Well, we
It's just
promoted
fun.
we promoted on both of our programs, and we certainly will promote this one. And like you say, nobody knows what the end result is, but it's really great to know that Girl Camper is going to be there. Our guest this morning is Janine Pettit, founder and chief, camper in chief at Girl Camper. We got a couple of minutes left. Janine, what else is new, or what else are you looking exciting to be accomplishing in 2024 with the Girl Campers?
Well, you know what? We have 30 guides. We have about 5 new guides coming in. So we're increasing our territory. We've got over 400 events on the book so far coming up this year. We've got some great partners. We love our friends at Camco. We love our friends at Go RVing, and we have a new partnership coming up with Lippert, and and then it's so fun for me to be a brand ambassador at Keystone. I got a Keystone Cougar 29 BHL. That's my camper that I'm going to be bringing over to the seasonal site. It's got a bunkhouse in the back and so that's going to be really different for me. And I'm going to be talking about that too. Like, how do you maintain a stationary RV? Is it different? So I'll be on the learning curve, and lots of stuff to talk about.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and we'll certainly bring you back maybe halfway through the season, or maybe at the end of the season to see how it goes. But it's been really fun to catch up with you, and I wish you the best of luck as we get into 2024. And as always, you've got your hands full and a full calendar of things to do.
That's how we stay young, Bob.
That is exactly right, Janine. That's the thing that keeps us young, and we run around and we brag about it. Right.
I'm going on Medicare this summer. I'm turning 65.
What's that? Yeah, I'm turning 80 next month.
I know you're my inspiration.
I can't stop now, Janine.
No, don't do it. Don't fall for it. It's a trap.
Not at all. All right. Hey, great to see you, Janine. Thanks very much.
You too, my friend. Mwah. See you soon.
So we are at RV Self Park in Kingsland, Georgia. I had to think of where we were there for a second. And we stayed the night here. And interestingly, they are just in the process of opening this facility. You can see there's a real big Class A right there. But we happen to talk to Jim and Chris, who are the proprietors here. And guys, totally new concept, absolutely amazing. We talked about it before, but this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you need power, you need water, and the RVer's best friend, the dump tank. Yep. So you've got everything here, Jim. Why don't we start with the dump?
Okay, well, obviously since we're not here, we don't have any manpower here, we have to control everything. The city wouldn't be happy if we just had sewer over there.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So we have a lock system that basically it's locked, and there's a rubber seal inside this tube that comes down and seals off the port, the sewer connection. And when the power's on, this switch here gets power, and it lights up, and so it's easy to find, and it's lit.
It slides up.
You press the button, it slides up. And the neat thing about this arrangement is you just basically set the hose in and let that lid down and holds it. And you don't have to worry about wrestling it and screwing it in really or anything. That lid is just the perfect weight to hold it in place.
So you're the dump guy. Chris, you be the power guy.
Sure.
You tell me how we're going to do this power.
Well, first of all,
how am I going to know the difference between 30 and 50 amps?
Luckily, we have sticker too. Yeah.
Just,
so obviously, you hook up here, make sure your breaker's on, up, ready to go, plug it in. Right side.
Ready to go.
Yeah, sure. And then obviously, if you need 20, 30 amps, as you did, put it over here. If you need 50 amps, click it on over.
Yep. Good. Okay, Jim, you're up with water. This is kind of an easy one.
Water's easy. Just a typical, let me step around here. Just a typical frost-proof water hydrant. Up is on.
With some good pressure.
Yeah, we got good pressure.
Hey, I have been to campgrounds where it barely trickles out.
Right.
No, we worked with our engineer literally, and we really made sure we had the right size water lines and everything. Like I showed you in the cabinet over there is a direct, it's a home run water line from our main to every site.
What's this device right here?
This is a sensor that's not, again, and we also don't have the camera. There's a camera that'll be mounted a camera with a speaker so we can communicate in a need, when there's a need. This is a sensor. There's another one on the other side that actually helps us know when somebody's here and turns power and water on.
Okay.
It's part of the automation.
Totally automated.
Yep.
Totally automated. And, you know, nobody's here, but what about cameras and security? How do people feel comfortable knowing that there's no manager here?
Well, again, there's cameras. Really, the overhead cameras are kind of the first line, and the lighting. It's lit. These lights are automated, so they'll come up to full bright as people move around outdoors at night. They'll be on full bright till about 9 o'clock every night, and then they'll dim down. And then as there's movement, they'll come back on full bright. But the cameras will be 24/7. The cameras are on, and we give people a link. When you reserve a site, you'll get your receipt email immediately after you pay, and it'll have a link on there for the cameras, and you can actually open that link, put it on your iPad or your laptop. You can have it inside the RV all night long and see the cameras. And then we also have a monitor in the park so that everybody can walk up and just see the cameras too. And it lets the other folks that might travel through know that, yeah, the signs are real. We really are recording everything. So cameras are on
We're in Kingsland, Georgia. Really, Florida-Georgia line. I mean, it was a band for a few years, but
I think it's still
we're not even like 2 miles from Florida. Right?
The 3 mile marker.
Oh, 3 mile marker. Okay.
Yep.
So right off the highway, you can see 95 on the other side. But I'll tell you, we spent a quiet night here, and for somebody who doesn't need a full hookup, doesn't need a full cert. Look, we've got full hookups.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But I don't need a pickleball court. I don't need a pool. I don't need a pavilion and all that other stuff because I'm just either heading north or heading south.
Right. Yep.
Place to stop.
You know, we stress that we want to be stress-free.
There we go.
We don't have a gate to aggravate with or have to fuss with. It's drive in. You already know what site you picked and paid for, so you drive in, follow the signs. Yeah. All sites are pulled through. It's as easy as we could possibly make it. For a traveler.
And that's why they call it RV Self Park. Have a great day, everybody.